Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of my Megapark. In this episode it's finally time to work on the beaches, most specifically this beach here right next to Steel Serpent, and I want to work on the beach near the hotel. And if I have time remaining, I will also work on the beach here in the bay next to the, surrounding the island. Anyway, yeah, what do I want to do? I want to add some sunbeds, umbrellas. I want to add a beach club here, one or two rides, maybe also a jet ski rental. I want to make all these spots invisible, and I have some extra surprises for you in this episode. Anyway, first I will just start by turning this more into something that looked like an actual beach by adding some sunbeds. I will only make this path invisible in the end when I've built everything, because of course when it's invisible I cannot see where the paths are anymore, so then it will be more difficult to do any additions without screwing anything up. Okay, I also want to have several rides here, and I thought that right here next to the transfer track will be a nice spot to put one of those inverted swinging ships. Also to block the view of the transfer track, but also yeah, I think this is just a nice location for it, right next to the sea. Alright, here's a trick you don't see often in parks, but which can be really effective. That's making a nice backdrop for your rides. So yeah, guests will now not see the transfer track behind this ride, behind the inverter ship, but rather they will see this ocean with some clouds above it, blue sky, and this sun right above it. I think it works quite well. I think it's a nice effect to use in your park if you want to obscure a part or make something look a little bit nicer. Alright, one problem that I'm facing in the park is that I'm putting more and more handymen in patrol areas. In itself, that's not a problem. But yeah, I just like to have all my handymen just roaming around, and then just having a few patrol around in areas which are often messy. But yeah, by now I have so many of my handymen in patrol areas that there will be less and less handymen just strolling around for the other areas. So for example, here you can see all the areas in blue which have a handyman patrolling them. But these areas here, for example, they don't. As I put more and more handymen in these patrol areas, the areas that are not covered by a patrol, they will see less and less roaming handymen. So yeah, the more handymen I put in patrol areas, the more I will have to put. The more handymen will eventually have to be put in patrol areas, so the entire park is still covered. Now, what is a useful trick is something that's implemented in Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Just press I, the I key. You can change the key if you want, but then you can see all the problems on paths, and you can also see where your handymen are. For example, here we can see some vomit. Well, as you can see, this area is covered by a handyman. This piece of path isn't. You can actually click a patrol area, and then it will select the handyman that's closest. So I will add also this little piece of path to his area. Now, one problem that I also face sometimes is that I often make the patrol areas for one handyman too big, which means that they're still not covering their area very effectively. But yeah, it's just the kind of things you'll struggle with if you make your own Megapark. For now, it's still okay. Most of the problematic areas, so the restaurants and rides that make guests very nauseous, they're all covered now by handymen. But yeah, litter and vomit is really, when your park's this size, it's usually the thing that will get your park rating down the most. So right now my park rating is at 836. I think that's quite good for a park this size. It fluctuates quite a bit, but yeah, at this size litter is the biggest problem. So if you want your park rating to stay well at around this number, you really need to manage your handyman well. Alright, before I work on the beach club, there's something else I want to do. This big purple roller coaster, Steel Serpent, it has always felt a little bit short to me. So I thought it would be a good idea to extend it a little bit. And that can easily be done here in this spiral. So yeah, that's what I will do here. First I will make the entrance and exit invisible, because they will disappear when I change the track. So in order to help me rebuild the queue, I will just note their positions. It will make it a little bit easier for me later. Okay, that looks like a good addition to the track to me. I want to restore the queue area, and yeah, then I will do some work here to integrate it into this area a little bit nicer, and then I think this coaster has gotten a worthy addition to its track. Alright, this is Jim's beach club. I've taken a share of Maggot from the entrance of the park, and I will repurpose him into DJ Maggot, dropping those sweet beats in the club so guests can get something to eat or to drink here. And in the middle there's this open area where they could dance if they had sprites for dancing. Now, the story of Jim's Beach Club is that there was a guy named Jim who had a lifelong dream of running a beach club. So he worked hard his entire life to save up enough money to run a beach club somewhere. But then sadly he passed away, so he never got to realize his dream. And then there was a totally unrelated guy who was also named Jim, and he put down a beach club here. Alright, that's one half of this beach done. I think it looks quite cool with all the sunbeds, the umbrellas, and the extra rides that I built. And of course Jim's Beach Club over here. Alright, I will just add some sunbeds here. I won't make any extra rides here. And then I'll make the path invisible, and yeah, then this part of the beach will also be done. Alright, that's this beach completed. I think this is as much detail as I will add to the beach for now. Okay, there's still another beach that I need to finish, which is over here. So that's what I will get to now. Now, first, one thing that I really want to do is, well, we have this big coaster here, and I think I want to add an element to it. And right over here, I think this part here is just screaming for a water splash section. So that's what I'm going to make here. Okay, just like I did with the inverted swinging ship on the other side. I actually think this will be a nice backdrop for a little thrill ride. So I think here I will build one of these magic carpets. We already have one in the Egyptian area, but I think another one will look cool here. Alright, that will have to do for now. So, just to recap what everything that was done in this episode. This beach here near the hotel, I made all the paths that were here invisible. I added this water splash section to the coaster, to the blue Bayou coaster. Oh, I should probably open it again, so the guests can actually enter it and ride it. I put this magic carpet ride in front. Not many people seem to be riding it, but okay, there's a few guests. Good. I think it looks pretty nice in front of this water splash. Let me quickly add some greenery right next to it. And then on the other side, on this beach, well, obviously more sunbeds. I made the paths invisible. I should probably make these a little bit more irregular. Alright. So, invisible paths, sunbeds, umbrellas, and I made a twist here called Turbo Polyp. I made this inverting swinging ship here with this backdrop here of the sea with a cloud and a little sun. And we made Jim's Beach Club right over here. And of course extended the Steel Serpent with this hill over here. Alright, I think that's enough for this episode. No, park is now mostly filled. There are still some empty spots, and this inside bay area also still needs some work. And one area that I still want to completely redo is this entrance area. I'm not really fond of these buildings, and this hotel also has to go. I'll need to think of something to repurpose this building. Maybe this could be the offices to actually run this gigantic park. Anyway, that was enough building for this episode. I think it will be nice for the end of this episode to take a ride on the new and improved Steel Serpent.